as you know, I help real estate agents across the states and across the world at this point with their marketing. And every once in a while, I run into a software that I have never used before, so I have to figure it out. So after hours of trying to figure out the connection and after hundreds of tests, I finally figured out how to do the Facebook lead ad connection with Commissions Inc. So every time a lead comes in from my client, it automatically goes into their CRM. So if that sounds like you, needing to make the connection between your Facebook lead ads and your Commissions Inc. CRM, you're in the right place and you're about to save a ton of time with this simple video. And on this video, I highly encourage you to stay to the end because there's one item that's gonna trip you up. It tripped me up for 2 hours and I don't want the same for you. Hey, it's Jaime. If we're just meeting, welcome to the channel that brings actionable content to grow your business through online marketing. So if that sounds beneficial, consider subscribing. All right, so let's dig right in. There's 3 websites to worry about today. 1, it's gonna be Facebook, naturally. 2, it's gonna be Commissions Inc., so CINC. And then 3, it's gonna be Zapier. So if you're not familiar, Zapier is something that connects 2 different platforms through 2 different software, 2 different websites, so you can get some automation out of your business. So I'll link everything down below so you have a great starting point with any of these. So when it comes to Facebook, let's understand what we're talking about. With Facebook, we're talking about the lead generation ad. So we're not talking about traffic, which drives people away from your website, away from Facebook and things like that. So we're talking about the lead generation ad. So it's very important because with the lead generation ad, it populates a form within Facebook. So that's why we're needing to make this connection. Now, when it comes to which one comes first, the very first thing that you need to do is going to be create your campaign on Facebook. That is going to be what drives everything. So with your campaign, go ahead and create your lead generation ad and pause it. That way you don't have it running and then you haven't made the connections and you don't have to catch up. So this is going to be the first thing. The second thing you want to do is make the connection. So we're going to go over here to CINC. And to get to this screen where we're going to be at right now, all you have to do is go to the drop down arrow, go to Profile and Settings, and then go to Integrations, and then hit Zapier. So when you hit Zapier, there's going to be a code right here that should be blurred out that you're going to need to update, or you're going to need to give on the login. So if this is the first time that you're creating this, when you go to use this Zap, it's going to ask you to log in to Zapier, and it's going to ask for that code that you saw a couple of seconds ago. And then you can start creating your Zap, creating the integration between your Facebook and Commissions Inc. Now, we're not going to go through it this way. Just I'm going to show you the more manual way of doing it so you don't have to come back here every time. So this key right here, that's only to make the integration the first time, make the connection. After that, you can create as many Zaps as you want, which is what I'm going to show you right now. With this is Zapier. And with this, all you have to do now that you've made that connection, again, once you go to use that Zap, it's going to ask you to connect just once with that API key right there, and then you're off and running. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a Zap, and we're going to select the Facebook lead ads. Remember, this is the only campaign that we can do this with. We're going to go to continue, which is going to leave the new lead, and then we're going to log into our account. So this is going to be the lead ads account. This is an integration. If this is the first time that you're doing this, it's going to ask you to log into Facebook. So that's how you make the connection right off the bat. And then you're going to select the page that you want to migrate leads from. So I'm going to select a page right here. So I'm going to select mine, and then I'm going to select the form. So I'm just going to say Dallas just listed as an example. So for you, it's going to be your page, of course. It's going to be your lead form. So just make sure that it's the lead form that you want. And you're going to go to continue. You can test the trigger. And this is very important that you're going to see here in a little bit when it comes to testing. It's going to pull in some information. If you haven't run any leads through it yet, it's going to give you some dummy data. So chances are that you're going to make this connection immediately after you create your Facebook lead ads, which you should have paused at this point. So it's going to give you a dummy lead, so a test lead. So this is very important right here, what's coming up, because this is what wasted 2 hours of my life not knowing the following. So we're going to go to CINC. And then we're going to go to, you see the options right here. You can update a lead, add a note, create a lead, save, add save search, trash lead, verify lead. What we want to do is we want to create a lead. So we're saying, hey, Zapier, I want you to connect Facebook to CINC, and I also want you to create that lead. So once you make that connection, which is what we've already done, now we're telling CINC we need to create a lead as soon as a lead comes in from Facebook. So we're going to select the account. We're going to continue. Hey, one quick second, I'll let you get right back to the video because I know you're super excited about making this connection. I just needed to ask you for one small favor. Would you mind going down to the bottom of this video and smashing like? That's going to help me out a ton, this video out a ton, and the channel overall. Thanks. And now we get to fill the information in. So depending on what you ask, over on the lead form is what's going to come in through here. So the cell phone, here's the thing. You're going to go with, well, I'll fill everything out. So we're going to go with phone. We're going to go with on this one, it does require the full name. So in this lead form, I would actually need to go back and request the full name. So just be aware, you want the full name. That's something that you need to do. So whenever you're setting up your lead form, you can do the first name and last name. But I just suggest that you go ahead and on the lead form, create the full name or ask for the full name. And then you're going to get the email right here. And then you can, if you ask some additional information like the address, that's where you would put it right there. And then let's just say the assigned agent. So on the assigned agent, you would just select the agent that you want to be assigned to that. So if you're running ads for multiple agents, then you can select them right there. If there's an assigned partner like a lender or somebody else that will help with the lead follow-up, then you would assign them right there, which is basically going into CINC and the settings that you've already done or the partners that you've already added, it's pulling from there. And same thing with the signed listing agent. If this is a seller campaign, then you would select the agent from there. You would select the label that you're labeling on CINC. And then with the buyer lead, if it's a buyer lead, first time buyer, a lot of this information you won't necessarily know. So we can leave all of this blank. It's not going to necessarily do anything. Fill in as much as you can, but you don't have to fill everything out. Just giving you an example of that. Now, there's going to be some things that we do need to make sure that is highlighted. So this particular account only has one agent, so we're going to leave that as false. And send welcome email, that you do want to go to false. You don't want to go ahead. You don't want to send the welcome email because you're going to send another email that way. So one quick thing, if you ask a custom question on the lead form, as an example, when do you plan to buy? What's your street address? All that fun stuff. If you ask custom questions on your lead form, you can put the answers here in the notes. So you just click there and you would go to show more options. So anything else that you asked for, you can put that into the notes. That's how they get routed into CINC. So again, if you ask for when do you plan to buy, asking for the credit score is quite difficult in this environment when it comes to Facebook and it's cracking down on that. So chances are you're not going to get that one approved, that type of question, and it's going to get denied. So here's one thing that you absolutely need to understand. When you click on continue, it's going to say that, well, we're going to go to continue. It's going to ask you to test it. And when you go to test, it's going to do the following. It's going to say the lead could not be sent to CINC. Here's what's happening. The phone number, wherever that's at right here, the phone number, that has to be a phone number. That is, because right now what we're sending is dummy data for phone number. We're sending those characters, which are letters, not numbers. So it will not let you test it. So what you need to do is have confidence in this video that I'm sharing with you everything that you need to know, and you need to skip that test. You cannot test it unless you have an actual live lead. If you've already run your ads for a little while and you have a live lead to work with, then up here, whenever we selected our little example, it's going to pull that data in, and then it will have a phone number. But if you do the steps like I mentioned that you should do, first work on the Facebook ad itself and have that ready to go, and then just pause it and then make the connection over on CINC, and then come here and integrate everything through Zapier. If you do it in that order, you're not gonna have an actual lead yet. So it's gonna pull in that information. So what you need to do is you're gonna need to skip this test. Again, as a quick recap, the reason that is giving us this will not send is because this right here is not a phone number. So you can go ahead and skip that test. Now, if you already have, a quick reminder again, if you already have a lead, then chances are that that's gonna populate with the lead information. So in my case, all I would need to do is skip this test. I would toggle that on, and then I would name my Zap, and you're done. Well, now that you know how to make the connection between Commissions Inc. and your Facebook lead ads, it's time to generate some leads. So I'll leave a video right here that's gonna help you do that. Also, if you found value today, please be sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss another video. And of course, make it your best day yet.